the establishment is already coming out hard for anybody who's not going to back the vote blue no matter who in a whole nother year, right? 2020. They're coming. It's like they might as well just come out and say, "Hey, you better fall in line." That's what it feels like they're saying, right? Here is Hillary Clinton's press secretary from when she ran, and it's like they're saying that. In fact, they're fucking literally saying that. Fall in love in the primary, fall in line in the general. Are you?
It's August.
Nominate a progressive.
Fall in love during the primary and fall in line during. That sounds like a very healthy relationship, doesn't it? You know, fall in love during your courtship and then fall in line during your marriage and shut the fuck up. Anyway, this is how they bring people into the party by fucking alienating everybody. How does this bring people into the party, Steph?
Oh, you know, Jimmy, it's a wide tent. There's just no people in it.
We bully people, so now they like our terrible candidates later. That's not how it works. You don't bully people into liking you. Here's what Susan Simmons says. She goes, "I've made this argument a million times. Trump is the president because people voted for him. Don't like it? Convince people to come out and vote for someone else. No one owes a vote to anyone. Women's suffrage didn't happen so I could be told who to vote for."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the reason half this country doesn't bother voting isn't because they're like, "Man, I wish there was just someone out there we could just shrug and fall in line for. Really get me out."
Yeah. So here is so this is happening again. So something bad happened with Trump, and people start blaming Susan Sarandon again. This has been happening for about a week now on Twitter and Facebook, all over social media. Dean Obadiah tweeted out, he said, "Trump's fine people, they come after the Dayton mayor. The mayor of Dayton, Ohio, needed extra security after President Donald Trump publicly insulted her." And then Neera Tanden says, "News like this has become commonplace. And every once in a while, I just want to thank Susan Sarandon for her campaigning, not just voting third party. Instead of working to stop Trump, she helped him." First of all, Neera, I think she did vote. I think Susan Sarandon did vote for the guy who could beat Donald Trump, and his name was Bernie Sanders.
Neera Tanden doesn't like Susan Sarandon because Neera Tanden never could do the time warp. And let me tell you why. Because she can't jump to the left.
Listen, I for one am tired of Miss Sarandon getting my credit. I am tired of that. I was responsible.
So here's what Aaron Matei says. The people who lost a presidential campaign to Donald Trump should have been forced out of politics. They should have. At minimum, they should have accepted responsibility. Instead, they're now approaching their third anniversary of blaming everyone but themselves, from Russia to Susan Sarandon.
They're 1 year away from getting a degree.
Let's look at the bottom of this tweet. There was an empty Supreme Court seat, and Susan Sarandon helped hand it to Trump. You know, and we're still in Afghanistan too. Thank you, Susan. This is real. Well, I love this. Miguel Arrazia says they rigged a primary and then blamed the ones they screwed over for the loss of an election that should have been easily won. If Biden ends up being the nominee and loses, they'll still blame Bernie and Russia. People like Tanden just play stupid on purpose. That's exactly right. I mean, Neera Tandon's being so hypocritical, you'd think she's getting ready to run for office or something. Am I right? What the fuck? She goes, I agree. This is Neera Tandon. She goes, I agree too much money is wasted on TV ads. Really? Then why did you advise Hillary Clinton to spend all her money on fucking TV ads, right? Number 2, you can choose to relitigate 2016 primary for the rest of time, but I spend energy fighting Trump. By fighting Trump, I think, here's how she fights Trump, by retweeting anybody who says something mean about Donald Trump. That's it. And by attacking progressives her entire fucking life. That's how she's fighting Donald Trump. And let me just say, I love how she goes, you can choose to relitigate the 2016 primary. What the fuck? You've been relitigating the 2016 general every day of your life since you lost to Donald Trump. And of course you don't want to rehash the primary because you fucking cheated Bernie Sanders, which is why Debbie Wasserman Schultz had to fucking resign. And I agree, too much money is wasted on TV ads. Too much money is also spent on fake progressive think tanks.
I keep waiting for a tweet from Neera Tandon that says, the Amazon is on fire. Thanks, Susan Sarandon.
Listen to this. People who tell you it's okay to call an Italian man Fredo are the same people who said it was okay. Do you see how they all protect each other? Isn't that fucking weird? She's protecting a CNN anchor. Isn't that wild? So it's the same people who said it was okay to throw money at a woman leader and call her a whore. So that's, I don't know if you remember, when Hillary Clinton came to do a $300,000 a plate fundraiser in the richest part of Los Angeles, some Bernie supporters lined the road on the way up to the mansion, and they threw money at her because that's what she was going to do. They threw money at her car, at her limousine.
Oh, that's rude.
And people went nuts, like, oh, you're sexist for throwing money at a woman. What the fuck? So,
that limousine has feelings.
And she ends by saying, and they never think about the energy they take rationalizing and the denigration of others. So let me just say this. This is from Paul Bless says this. He goes, so in one fell swoop, Neera Tandon defended Chris Cuomo's comparison of being called Fredo, a character in The fucking Godfather, to the N-word. She then rehashed the 2016 Democratic primary and made him a victim of sexism by proxy. Now that's a difficult needle to thread, but Tandon did it flawlessly. She's constantly bringing up the primary. That's what she just did. What the fuck do you call this? Throwing money at a woman. That happened during the primary. What a hypocritical motherfucker. And I should have did that joke now. That hypocritical joke. I fucking jumped that joke too quickly. God damn it.
Can you do it again for me?
No, it's too late. So they were going nuts. They're going nuts over Susan Sarandon. So Susan Sarandon gave a speech in Iowa. She was introducing Bernie Sanders, and she said something like, well, you know, one of the presidential candidates wasn't a Republican till he was 47. And people went nuts because she's talking about Elizabeth Warren, right? And you saw them go nuts over this, right? Look, so this guy says, bitch appears to snipe at Elizabeth Warren.
Damn.
Who is that guy? What kind of, he's got a blue check. I wonder who he is. Oh, he worked in the Clinton White House. Sexist Bernie bros. Isn't that amazing? In public. He didn't take that tweet down. He says, bitch appears to snipe at Elizabeth Warren while introducing Bernie Sanders at an Iowa event. And I love the woke white male feminism of the resistance, folks. Is it okay to use sexist language if I'm supporting Watch this guy. Here's another. He says, fuck Susan Sarandon. Seriously, do they wake her out of her cryogenic chamber which is ageist, whenever a woman starts doing well in the polls. That got 10,000 likes. Who was that guy? Adam Parkomenko? Well, he was the political advisor to Hillary Clinton. There he is, fuck Susan Sarandon. Seriously. I like how he says seriously.
Seriously.
Seriously. Aaron Matei then jumped in and he says, did they wake you out of your cryogenic chamber to remind us that you worked on a campaign that lost to Trump, full of such sore... full of such sore, pathetic losers that you're still blaming Susan Sarandon for it? Instead of attacking her, you should be taking notes on what integrity looks like. It's amazing they blame Susan Sarandon for Trump winning, but they also lost the House and the Senate and 1,000 seats statewide in state legislatures. Who do they blame for that? I'm guessing Molly Ringwald. Here, yes, that's right. They're voter shame. That's all they have. Aaron Matei nails him. Buzzsaw Matei nails him. And then Adam Parkomenko comes back and says, given who you work with, I'm surprised you tweet at all. Oof. I have no idea. So Aaron goes, given who you've worked with, the campaign's so incompetent and awful that it lost to Donald Trump. I'm not surprised that you're still blaming everyone else for your own failures.
I believe Aaron just blitz slapped him.
You mean Fredo slapped him.
You're right.
And that got 1,346 likes over his stupid shit. What did his thing get? Oh, 147? 1,000? The Clinton people are so shitty, they can't even win in their own fucking thread. So he comes back with, so then he comes back with, you are a Putin kiss ass. That's it. That's all he got.
He couldn't even go with alliteration and say puppet. Like he couldn't even...
Wouldn't it be nice if all the Clinton sycophants spent more time trying to abolish the Electoral College and less time hating on an actress? But then again, they couldn't even beat Donald Trump, so I don't think they'd make much progress on the Electoral College anyway. They're incompetent fucking losers. Hey, we should get that guy who says fuck Susan Sarandon for our campaign. I bet he knows a thing or two about winning people over. So here's Neera Tanden again. She goes after Nina Turner. So she says, thanks, Nina Turner, for reminding people that you voted for Jill Stein in 2016. So did I. You and Susan Sarandon both. The two most powerful people in America, Jill Stein and Susan Sarandon. You didn't vote for the person who could beat Trump. You helped him by voting third party in a swing state. Really? Hillary took the swing states so seriously, she didn't even bother going to fucking half of them. And here's Nina Turner responding. She goes, you don't know who the hell I voted for. Don't bring it here, Neera Tanden. You don't want to do this dance. It's because of mean, hateful neoliberals like you that we have Trump in the White House. Own your shit. Don't ever come for me. I only had one mama, and she's dead. Boy, Nina really owned her. Too bad Neera Tanden can't just shut Nina out of Twitter like it's the DNC or something. Am I right? So how does Neera Tanden know who everybody voted for, by the way? Did she get all those hacked voting records from Russia or something? That's my question.
She asked, we said no.
It's amazing. You can't vote third. You can't vote your conscience. You can't vote for. If you want to vote for who you want to, you have to move to California because that's solid blue state, right?
Or just fall in love during the primary.
Okay, I just want to say this. I just have to share this story. We were at the People's Summit, and I met Nina Turner. And I was really excited about it. And I went up to her, and she was selling her book, and it was a lovely book. I gave it to a friend, and I read it, and it's a great book. And so I turned to her, and she was signing the book, and I said, "Hey, I'm Jimmy Dore's wife." And she goes, "Oh, Jimmy Dore? Jimmy Dore? He says things that I want to say, but I can't." And she sure says a lot.
Yeah. So you're welcome. And so after Nina Turner took her down like that, that's pretty hard. Soledad O'Brien. Do you know who Soledad O'Brien is? What happened to her, right? When she was on CNN, she got fired because she actually did hold their feet to the fire. And now the last couple years, she's just off the... Well, here she goes. So she retweets Nina Turner, and she says, "This seems calm and rational." What the fuck? Well, so Soledad jumping to the defense of master gaslighter Nira, who along with her circle of trolls spent the last 3 years punching left and viciously attacking. So now when Nina finally addresses it, they try to paint Nina as irrational. This is the behavior of abusers. So I don't know, maybe Soledad O'Brien's an adult child of an alcoholic, and that's why she acts like this. It seems like it. She seems like she definitely needs a meeting because there's something broken in her brain if she's doing shit like that.
You know what, Jimmy? I would actually call Nira's behavior vicious and ludicrous. It's just me.
Yeah, I would too. You mean the same word she called me?
Yep.
Yeah, I know. So someone says, maybe try standing up for the black woman being mass bullied online for 3 years. Try that, and then look up the history of the donut resistance on Twitter.
Yes, thank you.
What is the donut resistance?
The donut.
Right?
So when they exiled Nina Turner and a bunch of other progressives out of the DNC meeting, and they were trying to get in, they gave them donuts. Like, they gave them donuts, and Nina Turner was like, "I don't want your donut." So then they started using that on Twitter. So yeah, it's a mockery.
Okay, I got it. So one of the oldest bullying tricks: wait for a person who's been insulted, prodded, and provoked into responding with any level of emotion, and then shame them for their tone. Remember how Nara, Skippy, and Robbie Mook got together after losing a $1.5 billion campaign to a Cheeto and came up with a plan to blame racism in a whole other country for their short kids for the next 3 years? Yeah, that sounds totally sane, right? Right, Soledad? That sounds sane. Does that sound sane to you, Soledad? And it got worse. Here is the editor for Daily Kos. One of the editors for Daily Kos, his name is Armando. He goes, "You're so fucking stupid," which means Bernie is fucking stupid. Nice. This is the editor at Daily Kos. This is right out in public. This is why Hillary Clinton lost, because that's who these people are. They're disgusting, unlikable motherfuckers. That's why they lost an election. They're the worst people. And they'd all stab each other in the back for a fucking better job. That's why these people are scum of the earth. They're not even loyal to each other. They're loyal to a fucking corporatist warmonger because they're too embarrassed that they fucking suck so hard. That's what's going on. Yeah.
It's almost like they're the deplorables.
Yeah.
Look, I don't want to nitpick, but if you're going to call somebody fucking stupid twice, you should spell it right both times. Just saying. You should maybe get that one right. It's not that hard.
Yeah, so she called Trump voters deplorables. They should just call the Hillary voters the unlikables. The unlikables. Armando goes, you're the stupidest person in politics. It's fucking amazing how stupid you are. These are grown-ups. These are writers. He goes, Bernie is finished. You are finished. Sarandon is finished. What's funny is stupid-ass Bernie is paying you to fuck him. Did you see that, Rod?
No, I didn't see
That's
that.
real.
Oh my God.
He took that one down. He took that one down.
He's a reasonable guy.
So Soledad, still it's the Nina Turner who's the fucking maniac, who's not calm. It's still her, but this is the shit that people like her have to take every day. And then when they respond, Soledad O'Brien gaslights them, bullies them, and then abuses them like a fucking alcoholic does. That's who Soledad O'Brien is, and I hope you stay off TV for the rest of your fucking life, Soledad. And you got broken when you were a kid, and you should go to therapy and find out what fucking happened to you. So this guy says to Soledad O'Brien, this is from a long time ago, he said, women should rule the world. He's replying to a tweet of Soledad O'Brien. He says, women should rule the world. Men have been screwing it up for 6,000 years. Okay, right? So then Soledad O'Brien goes, I guess we can all move past the women are just too emotional thing. Oh, except when it's Nina Turner, then you fucking tell her she doesn't seem calm enough? Oh, maybe you're just a fucking piece of shit hypocrite. You ever think of that, Soledad? Who pushes an establishment line because you're trying to get back on TV? That's right. So Susan Sarandon one time tweeted out a picture of her at a baseball game. She goes, my partner in crime and I calling the game as the sun sets over the field of dreams. Seems pretty innocuous, right? So then Soledad O'Brien retweeted it and said, ick, I'm going to have to block this account. Wow, that seems really calm and rational. Again, Soledad, get some fucking help, right? Get some help. How many has she? I'm gonna guess she's been in, anyway.
I don't like it when environmental actresses are having fun. I need to block this.
Soledad O'Brien. I like that. Soledad O'Brien. Here's my favorite Deborah Messing. This is from this month. Hey, Susan Sarandon, how are you? Like, this is 3 years fucking later. Not one tweet from her. Hey, why don't we get rid of the Electoral College? Hey, why don't we do ranked choice voting? Hey, why don't we get money out of politics? Hey, why don't we have a better fucking candidate? Hey, why do we try to screw over the working class and then get surprised when they don't vote for us? No, because Deborah Messing is also an emotional child, and it's easy to do a knee-jerk reaction at another actress who has more talent and awards than you do than it is to actually do introspection. Susan Sarandon's out winning Academy Awards and doing fucking movies that'll last a lifetime, while Deborah Messing is doing one of the shittiest fucking TV series I've ever seen. Susan Sarandon has been arrested multiple times at the front lines protesting issues like family separation. She's hosted Syrian refugee students in her home. She stands up and speaks out for what she believes in. You don't have to agree with her. Just show up like she does. But of course Deborah Messing never did a fucking thing for another person in her whole life, unless it had something coming back to her. That's who she is. Hey, if Susan Sarandon had enough power to swing an election, you'd think people would be nicer to her and try to persuade her to throw it their way in 2020. But of course this is transparent scapegoating by a poor people of poor character, too cowardly to actually confront the powerful. And there's a million fucking reasons why Hillary Clinton lost that election. Susan Sarandon ain't one of them, okay? You know what the real reason is? Because Barack Obama's neoliberal policies that were like fucking Ronald Reagan's, the people who were his natural consistency would not come out and vote for Hillary Clinton. Here it is, people in minority communities. The New York Times went to a barbershop in Milwaukee, and there it is. Many in Milwaukee neighborhood didn't vote and don't regret it. And guess what? People who voted for Obama twice refused to vote for Hillary in minority communities. This is a failing of the party, the campaign, and 8 years of corporatism from Obama. Of course, Deborah Messing won't dare talk about the actual fucking problem.
Well, I mean, in fairness, though, you can't blame the Clinton campaign for that. Wisconsin's one of the places she took really seriously.
Here's Crystal Ball. Crystal Ball got fired from MSNBC or let go because she told the truth about Hillary Clinton. And now here she is, she says, trying so hard not to comment on the level of denial, insanity, and delusion it takes to blame Trump on Susan Sarandon, as opposed to decisions like, I don't know, not campaigning in Michigan? Damn, I guess I just commented on it. Isn't it interesting that we want to blame the Russians for hacking our election, but no one is talking about the felony crimes that Hillary and the DNC committed when they stole the primary from Bernie Sanders? Isn't that something? The biggest election fraud in the history of our country, and all they talk about is Susan Sarandon and Jill Stein. What fucking cowards. What fucking cowards, man. Hey, come see a live Jimmy Dore show September 1st in San Francisco, September 8th in Baltimore, the 16th of September we're in Seattle. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for all of our live dates and tickets. Plus, become a subscriber to our Patreon. That's a great way to help support the show. You get hours of bonus material every week, or you can sign up directly over at jimmydorecomedy.com and you cut out Patreon altogether. Thanks for your support.